A good evening to you all beautiful and handsome viewers of Lim TV. It's again your dopest show around campus vibes, and we're here to talk about campus life, campuses, and everything to do with campus, okay? And yes, I would like to know how you have been since the last time we were together up to today. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's at Lim TV, and please send in your views, right? And today on the show, I've been joined by a great team, and as usual, we are going to discuss campus life. And our topic today is a question which goes, do you think parents should let their children stay in hostels or they should commute from home? And we want to know from you. With me, I have handsome gentlemen and beautiful ladies that are going to be sharing their views with us, and would also like to know what you think about the topic. So right about now, I'll let them introduce themselves. I don't know which side should I start from?
That side.
This side? Okay. Yes, please, beautiful lady. Could you please tell us your name, where you're coming from, which university you're coming from, and
Alright.
the people really want to know you.
Thank you. I'm Nacha Deshanta Angel, and I'm a medical student from St. Francis Schools of Health Sciences.
Okay, Angel. Next.
My name is Muksa Henry, a student at Limco University.
Yes, please, gentlemen.
A good evening to you all. I'm Chamagra Walter, a student Limco University.
Okay, yes, beautiful lady.
Hi, I'm Swala Abdul Shafiq, student of Limcock University.
All right, so beautiful viewers, we have Angel, we have Henry, we have I personally, Joy Lemonade, we have Walter, and we have Swalha. So I've already introduced the topic to you people, right? Should parents let their children commute from home or they should stay in hostels, right? And I would like to know what you people think. And since we started the introduction from this side, I think we should start the discussion from this side. Now I'm having ladies starting the thing. First, ladies first, eh?
Ladies
Okay,
first.
this is interesting. Yes, please, Swalha.
Well, I think kids should come from home, and it's because of so many different reasons.
Okay.
First of all, it's safer, it keeps people grounded, it keeps people, the security at home, I feel like I trust it more. And when people come from home, they tend to have that seriousness about them because you know your parent is watching every move, every step.
Okay.
And it keeps you grounded basically. So I really think people should come from home.
Okay. Swalha thinks people should come from home. Yes, please, Walter, tell us what you think.
I think students should commute from home.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the safest place. No starving at all.
Really?
I see my friends at campus in hostels. They really cry for food. One, they fear to call their parents. But if I'm home, for real, there will be plenty of food.
The way you're focusing on food, are we safe? I'm scared. Yes, please, Henry.
I myself, I won't support, those people there have
Okay.
a talk. For me, I would say students would rather go to hostel than school. Because of my reasons, I have many of them, but I will just point out some few. In hostel, when in hostel, there's something called being social. So there's a way you learn to be social with other people from different places. That's the life you get at hostel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, please, Angel.
I would choose the hostel side because hostels help you to develop self-discipline. How? For a real hostel, one of an organized institution, everything is done on time for breakfast, time for meals, time for studies. So that means if you can't catch up to the timetable, you miss out and you have to cater for yourself. But it teaches you that self-discipline. So with time, you learn that at this time, I should be going for classes. At this time, I should be doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I've seen some people, for them, they don't care. You get. So don't you think that's such kind of people. They need someone to be on their backs every time, telling them, go do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that.
That can happen for the first time, because when you are new in a place, you don't know how everything works. Perhaps you're used to the old life of being pushed here and there. But with time, you cope up with the culture of that place and you follow the rules as they should be. Because if you won't, you'll be penalized. First of all, you as yourself, you'll be punishing yourself. Because if you miss the meals, you have to get up for yourself. You'll be dealing on your expenses. So
Okay.
you will learn that self-discipline if you're really organized in life, that I have to cater for my finances. I plan to have meals at school, and now I'm spending outside my expenditure. So you learn the self-discipline.
Okay.
So I would go ahead and oppose both their points. Not that they are wrong points, they are very valid, but it does not mean that if you're coming from home, then that means you're not going to be social. Remember, most of your time during the day, you're going to be at campus. For if you have class, and within that time frame, there are a lot of opportunities to socialize with people. On your way to campus, all these people you meet on the road, it gives you plenty of time to socialize. So I kind of throw that out of the window. And then telling me that it gives you a sense of time management. Still, universities are designed for both people who are coming from home, and still coming from hostel is just as is equal, because you're coming from a different place, from somewhere else. You're not particularly at the institution, so you still have to follow time at the end of the day. So it is even better when you're coming from home, because you have to be dead on spot on time. When you're coming from home, you have to wake up earlier so that you can catch the class if it's in the early morning time, because you have to cater for that time where you're traveling. So it still counts with time management when you're coming from home.
Okay, this is really getting interesting and I'm loving it. I don't know if you guys are also feeling it like I am. Are you guys feeling it? And then there's how you all arranged yourselves, home, hostel, I don't know. Did you guys?
No,
No,
but
it
some
was
favors.
random.
Pardon?
But some favors.
Oh,
Yeah.
so automatically you
Yeah.
had to, yeah?
Automatically it had to go like that.
Me, I'm enjoying. So like from school, the thing is, I remember I used to have classmates and they would be like, me, I can't wait to join campus. I can't wait to stay in hostel because there is freedom. When you're at home, no parent would like you to come back home at 3, but then when you're in hostel, you can even spend a month away. So like, what do you guys think about it?
You know,
Like we've all been in high school, we've all been at home and our parents are all over on us and we just feel like we need that space away from them, right? So I want to know what you guys think about it, because it's still hostel and home.
Yeah.
you know, that's just an aspect to some people. That when I'm in hostel, I have freedom. I can even leave to study, go out for 1 month. That's just an aspect. But if at all you're serious and you know what took you to campus, you shouldn't do that. Hostel, at first, we never defined what hostel meant or what hostel means.
Okay.
Hostel is like a gazetted place with infrastructure, okay, where where mates meet. I
So
mean, the classmates, group mates, and so on. So my point is, people aspect that being in hostel, you have freedom and so on. I'm telling you, my friend, it's not like that. You have to just get serious and do what took you to university to campus. I can be home. I have freedom. So it depends on your aspect. It depends on your view in studying. That's my view about that.
the freedom we're talking about here is not.
So now Mr. Henry is talking about an ideal situation and an ideal student who has everything figured out. They know exactly, but this is the time where people are very uncertain of what they want. And this is where parents' hand should be all hands on deck on the child to make sure that their future is better. And this is the time where you need your parent the most.
But
Yeah.
but
It's
Salha,
okay. There are those situations that are exceptions. the university is so far from home and the cost of you going back and forth is crazy. But if at all your university is close to home, why go to hostel? Stay at home, come back, let your parents talk to you, tell them, and it even creates that bond between. Remember, all this time of school, high school, primary school, you're mostly away from your parent. This is the time where you need to create a bond, be closer to your parent, but you still want to be aware again.
But again, the challenge is, you realize that most of the children, that's the age that's the time they feel like they've grown up and they want to do life by themselves. You understand?
Which is so, it's such a crazy thing, because at the end of the day, all these students, most of them at least, are still heavily financed by parents.
Yeah, by the way.
So how are you going to live your own life alone, yet somebody else is literally catering for all your finances?
So parents cannot finance their children when they're away from home.
They can.
They can, by
They
the way.
can. But for you to say that they are now living on their own, it's not true. Because every now and then they have to call home for this, for that, for that. So that means you're still not living on your own. You're still living under your parent. So why not just stay at home and
Yes.
have them take care of you?
Yes, please, Angel, tell us your
You're
view.
still living like not under the control of your parents. Like here, you make decisions for yourself. You call home, because that's the responsibility of a parent, to care for your child, sending them the basic needs like money for food, for dressing and all that. But you as a person, you know that this money is for shopping, this money is for eating and all that. Then she said of the freedom, that's just fantasizing, because you've been, like, you realize that from kindergarten to high school, we have the dormitories, like we are in school, so we assume and fantasize that when I'm in a hostel, I'll do this, I'll sleep away, but there's also roll call in hostels. You can't sleep away for a month and the school doesn't know. The school will know and they will investigate about it.
Okay, so she has talked about roll call and the school knowing when you're out and all that, but then there are hostels that are outside campus. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
But let's first go for a short break. Trevor distributed this nice drink that you're seeing on our table. And yes, we are going for a very short commercial break and we shall be right back. Welcome back from that very short break. We are back. We are still on campus vibes, and today we are talking about hostels or home, right? And Angel was still telling us about roll calls and all that. But then remember, some hostels are outside campus.
Yes, even those that are outside campus, you have hostel representatives or the hostel presidents. They roll call and they give the feedback to the school administrators that this one fine, you can bribe them for, but someone is also concerned, because if anything goes astray in the hostel, it's blamed on them. So fine, you bribe them for 1 week, then these other weeks they'll give you in and the school will have to know about you.
Okay, guys. I want to hear your views about that, because I feel like the way Angel you're bringing it, you're like taking us back then in primary.
No.
You understand? Right now, it's me and my life. You understand? That's the feeling I have. So, guys, what do you think
About
about
roll
it?
calling,
About
about
roll
roll
call
calling.
and the hostel representatives reporting you in if you're not around and all
If
that.
you're at campus, the school will not roll call because they know you are responsible.
They
It will not roll call at all.
There are exceptional universities that roll call, but it's literally 1% of 10. So we are not going to rely on that and be like, universities roll call. And she has even stated it herself that you can still bribe these guys that are set up to like take back feedback, right?
Yeah.
You can bribe these guys and be on your own deal. But when you're at home, whom are you going to bribe? Unless if you're going to bribe your own parents.
Your siblings don't report you when you sneak out
No.
through the
So
window.
that's how
No, by the way, the
It's
parents know.
more reliable. Yes, and
Even at home they
by
can.
the way, I don't even mean that kids that come from home are going to be the ideal student and they're going to have everything figured out and they're not going to escape, they're going to party. They are, but it's going to be very grounded. It's not going to be to the extent of this person who is just out there taking care of themselves. And they talked about something where you're supposed to budget for your everything. But when you're at hostel level, I believe 95% of parents are going to let their kids budget for everything. Still, a kid that comes from home has needs. You're going to need clothes. You're going to have to budget for your transport. You're going to have to budget for a lot of things. So that can still make you responsible.
But
Yes,
Let
please,
me say
Henry.
something.
Henry, something is itching
Yeah,
you.
it's itching me because I just
Tell
really
us,
know.
please.
Being in hostel,
Yes.
it's like somewhere to go in hostel. It's an interest. A parent entrusts a kid or their child to go in hostel. It's not for every parent that will take their kid to hostel because of other things. But me being in hostel, somebody being in hostel, it comes from a parent. I know my kid, I know my child. The parent will trust their kids, their children. Be like, my child, I'm taking to hostel. They give them a brief maybe communication on how to behave, on how to do their things in hostel. Don't you think that could help them do great?
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Henry.
We are
Yes.
literally talking. That is okay if we are not talking about reality. If you are like talking about a sitcom, a novel, something like that. But reality is, yes, parents do trust us with ABCD responsibilities. But yes, 98% of kids misuse those responsibilities and that trust.
By the way,
And
But
it
that's
has
then
been very costly on parents.
they don't misbehave until the end. Of course, you misbehave for the start because you're excited.
Yes,
It's
but
the first time you're living on your own.
definitely, but those first times of you misbehaving can have impact on you for the rest of your life. You
And
can
then-
misbehave for the first few months, do whatever you're doing, but these things can impact you till the end, till the end of your
And
life.
People.
most cases, these so-called children at home, those on schooling, come from home, go to campus. Those are parents also know their kids. My kid is stubborn. My kid is so, you know. So this parent is like, let me protect my kid because I know that my child behaves. So I think it's much more being so protective to take to leave your kid come from home.
Letting your
Maybe
kids,
even perhaps
wanting your child coming from home doesn't mean you don't trust them.
Perhaps you're teaching your child to live on their own, and it also depends on the upbringing of the
Oh,
child.
Angel.
There are some parents
Let's talk about that.
about what?
Yeah. Let's talk about like, okay, you said a certain point that was like teaching your child to be responsible and all that, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Living on their own.
Living on their own. Let's first talk about that.
by the way,
Because
there is this point that charity begins at home. So you cannot let your child go in hostels without you teaching them how to
but
behave.
we've seen cases. Aren't there those things that your mom has stopped you from doing, but you still go ahead and do them?
Of course, I do them because we are different people. Maybe when my parent did that, the result was bad. But for me, I know myself. I know what's good for me and what's bad for me.
Okay, so someone out
So
there
you
is
go
like
ahead
saying,
and be
yeah?
your own parent.
Okay, so someone out there is like saying, when I stay in hostel, I learn how to be responsible. I learn. Okay,
I have a lot to
let's
say
say,
about that.
let's say
People-
if I've been given money, I know that I shouldn't just waste it anyhowly because time is going to come and I will not have anything on me. I'll be starving. I won't have money to buy food. I won't have money to do this. You understand?
Yes.
So there's someone who is saying that. Yet someone who is staying with mommy, there's how they feel like if I want this, I'll talk to mommy. If I need this, I'll go to daddy.
I
You
need
get
data.
it?
Still,
So
even at hostel, people still talk to mommy and daddy for ABCD for everything.
Nancy,
literally.
like,
But there's a point where she said, you get to live on your own. You learn to live on your own. So these 3 years, this ABC student Henry has been living on his own the whole time.
Okay.
He has his own check-in time. He has his own check-out time, right? He can come anytime he wants. Maybe he's even a good student. He does not party crazy or anything like that. So after the 3 years, he has to go back and live with mom, right?
Yeah.
Mom has had different rules. So you come programmed to live on your own. You want to do everything at your own time,
But
right?
that's being lazy.
It gives you a lot of bump heads with your parents because for you you're used of living on your own terms.
Yeah, you
Okay,
will not
Swalha,
follow
I
home
thought,
rules.
You don't want to follow
I
home
thought,
rule.
I thought that when this kid is in hostel, they end up that lifestyle of um of even if I'm away from here, I can still survive without mom, without dad. So literally, I can just rent up somewhere, maybe get a job to do, and I can hustle up with life. You
Perhaps
understand?
that's being lazy.
And on the other hand, if someone is staying with mommy and daddy, they'll feel like that is their life forever. You get
Yeah.
it? They'll find it really hard to move out of their parents' house
Unless
to go
if
start
we
up
are
life
not talking
somewhere.
about reality, unless if we are talking about a sitcom, as I said, you are not. It's very, very slim chances that people come from hostels straight to their renting houses or to their own or having their own place,
But
right?
then,
Because that is a different ball game itself. Now here at hostel, your parent, I like 95% of people, their parents are paying for their hostel, right? A lot
Yeah.
of people pay for their own hostel.
True.
So you are not feeling the pressure of the
Rental?
everything that is happening. You are really not feeling the pressure because still you call your parent, give you 50k and you can plan for that 50k, but still you did not have to work for that 50k. So you going out to stay on your own really is a different thing, and it's very difficult. It's not that easy.
just like you've said, it's
So a lot
difficult.
of you after hostel still have to go back home.
Not really. For real, the truth is, okay, you say that novel life is not novel. Perhaps life has variations. There are some who do that and some who continue with renting. As a parent who really loves their child or who really cares for their child, you give them a foundation. Perhaps you as a student, for the times that you've been in hostel, you become creative because you meet different people, you learn different ideas, you learn all the things that you've never known. You can learn how to plan for a business. You start up something. From the money they send you, you realize at some point that you're overspending. So you'll be like, let me save this money, I'll start up something. Besides that, so you could use that money when you start working. Perhaps we always go for internship. If you're lucky enough and you're disciplined, you can earn yourself a job during internship. In that, they'll give you where to stay and all that. And even if they don't give you where to stay, you have the money to pay for yourself. Besides that, your parents could have given you foundation that, my son, this is your first year on your own. I'll pay for your rent, but as you look for a job, so after that time, perhaps you'll be able to sustain yourself.
So
Okay, so something
But
is ringing in my head.
It is
this
ringing.
can still exactly the way she has explained everything can still apply to a commuting student. Your parent can still give you a foundation. They can still help you out with rent
Like
from
first be at
the
home,
first
then as
year.
you look for a job.
You can still be at home as you're looking for a job. You can still rent right after campus when you are coming from
But to a
home.
small
But
extent.
Walter, you were saying
It's
something?
not on a big extent
You
that
as
people
a
come from
student,
hostels straight to their
you
renting
as a
houses.
student, you feel like, oh my God, I've been used to mommy doing this for me, doing this for me. But a student from hostel, it's normal. They know when to come home, what to do and what not to do. But for you, as your friends were in hostels, trying out all the crazy stuff for the time of excitation,
You're
you're
running
now
to home.
coming out. You're like, should I go? You even have to
Excitement.
call home that, mommy, should I go home right
You even
now?
have the fear. You even have the fear.
But that
Walter,
is
you were
very
saying
healthy.
something.
That
Guys,
is
Walter was
very
saying something.
healthy. It's very healthy
What
for
is
you to
healthy?
call your parents, should I go home now? It's really healthy. There's nothing wrong with that.
But then the
There's
parent,
You
nothing
can,
wrong,
Swalha.
but
your
now
parent
you're
can
old,
tell you,
and you have to
you
know
go
what
back
to
home.
do.
Swalha.
And let me tell you,
I thought at that point your parent expects you to make certain moves on yourself so that they can also weigh and see if they've really attached some value to you, if they have really
If
taught
they
you
have
enough
trained
that
you
you can
enough.
even now stand up for yourself. You understand?
who
If
said
you
when
can
you're
do
coming from home, you can't stand up for yourself?
Yeah,
You
No,
can't,
like-
but
What
you have
situations
that
are we talking
fear.
about?
we are talking
You-
about situation of calling mommy, should I go home?
I know.
That
Yes, mommy, should I go home? Yes, go
Every
home.
time.
You get up and go home.
Oh Jesus.
What is
funny.
wrong with that?
It's very
really
funny
like
and
your-
so childish.
A lot of you people
Yeah,
from
childish.
hostel pretend and act like as if now you're responsible citizens.
Yeah,
You're
you be
living
big
on your
enough.
own. You're living on your own.
While getting spoiled.
But you are not
No.
paying your own bills. So
But
at the end of the
still.
day, you're still under parents.
Of course, that's not okay. It's really not under. Okay, it's under parents to some extent. But what
to a
we
full
are
extent.
saying, it is your self-discipline. You're self-reliant. You are accountable for whatever decisions you take. In that, you'll be like, if I don't eat, I'll starve. You won't cry that, okay, I've not cooked, but I
But
know
some
mommy
cry.
prepared something for me. Here you are alone. You have the responsibility as yourself to go and look for food.
But do you know how many people are starving in hostels
Of course,
right
they
now?
starve
Okay.
because they don't
Okay,
call
we are
home
talking
to
Because
earn
they
starving,
are
eh?
not
money.
responsible.
Angel,
and if
sorry.
they were
Are
staying at
responsible.
home, it would be better because
And
still,
how do you know?
let me tell
Never,
you,
never
Okay.
at home
there
people
is
are not eating.
no better place to learn responsibility than home.
Yeah, by the way.
But
There is
then,
no better environment to learn how to be um, confident, to learn how to be all the things that you're talking about, to manage time, because you have a vivid image. Your parent who has been taking care of you, who has been on time all their life, who has been waking up preparing all these meals.
Of course.
That is an example right
Of
there
course,
for you
even-
No.
to learn responsibility and all these ABCD things you're talking
I
about.
can say something
Okay.
about that.
You
Yes,
can
please,
still
Henry.
save money when you're at home. You can still start a business when you're coming from home.
Good.
Near home, actually. That's why you should start your business, Henry.
Yes, please, Henry.
So how good was you said some. It's a good word. Use some good word. Since not all, but some. And responsibility doesn't mean that it starts from home. There are some. I won't say it.
Irresponsible parents.
No, I won't say it. I won't say it.
But there are some
But-
irresponsible parents, truth be told.
Yeah.
But still, you can do the opposite. If your parent is irresponsible,
No,
do the
but-
opposite.
But can someone do it at hostel?
I can choose
You
It's
can do
possible,
it at
yeah.
hostel, but it's
whether
better at home.
Whether at home or at school, I can choose to be a nuisance, even at home.
Yes.
Yes, so
Let me
it's
tell
all
you, a
about how
nuisance at
you've been
home and a
brought up.
nuisance at
At-
hostel is very different. This nuisance at home is very grounded, but the other one is free to do whatever they want.
Depending on their
They can
home.
even get up in the
No.
midnight.
You can be
they can even
grounded.
And
get
go
up
stab other roommates.
two in the night
That's-
and
that's-
wander the world.
that depends on their home.
But this other nuisance at home is very grounded.
I can
They
choose
have
to,
to
escape from home and they'll punish me and still I'll be accepted
That means you will
at
not
home.
escape if they will punish you. But at,
No.
at
Yes,
hostel,
but
what?
remember-
Anytime you
And
want.
at hostel, I'm
You
not
know-
escaping. It's my freedom. But at home, I have to.
Definitely. So that
commit
means
sin by
Your freedom is to
you
escape.
don't need that freedom.
No, it's not freedom
No,
to
it's like-
escape.
Okay.
It's freedom of movement.
Okay, I'm enjoying freedom of movement. I'm enjoying responsibility. I'm enjoying parents. I don't
And
know if
you're
the
still
people
enjoying.
viewing us are also students are also
still-
enjoying. Oh my God, this is really getting interesting. So when we come back, we're going for a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about side hustles at hostel and side hustles at home. That is, if it is possible. Let's be right back. Welcome back from that very short break. It's still Lim TV. The show is Campus Vibes, the dopest show around, okay? And yes, we are talking about hostels and commuting from home. Travels Fresh Squeeze sponsored the show with these drinks that you're seeing on our table. And we are still talking. Pa here telling me about freedom at hostel. Pa telling me about the safety at home. They're telling me about food. They're telling me about what else? What else from home?
A lot of these expenditure.
Foundation expenditures.
Yeah.
Someone here is telling me about responsibility. Someone learning how to live by themselves.
Yeah.
And all
And now I
that.
have another point.
Um,
Like when you're staying in groups, in hostels, you have time for group discussions. But at home, you have your so-called grounding parents. They'll ground you. Don't bring your friends here. What? You have to read the bulky course unit on your own. Yet your friends at hostel are really.
That is where
They're
social
deriving
media comes
everything to
in.
them.
You can still have a
But then-
big as effective a discussion on WhatsApp.
Discuss
WhatsApp
online.
groups.
On
No,
WhatsApp,
physical
to discuss
discussion.
online.
Physical discussion is
People
better.
can work.
Yes, please, Walter.
Yeah.
Walter is telling us something, guys.
Yeah, by the way, I remember in my secondary school, I was in when COVID came. we had a WhatsApp group where you could discuss from home. Everyone was in his or her own home.
Home. Yeah.
But
We can
probably-
discuss
But
from there,
then
and we
there-
discussed, by the
Mr.
way,
Walter,
we
probably-
learned from that.
You might not
Than
be
I
having
being
that.
in hostels, I alone. By the way, I can never be in hostels. Right now, when my friends are at Missouri partying.
Of
Probably
course,
Walter.
By the way,
that's
the first thing they
right
will first-
If I'm to say
We are now on
discussions, like WhatsApp discussion,
discussions.
I
Henry?
can
My
give,
group mates
I
are
can give
now
you a
on
number.
the
Walter.
party.
Walter,
Henry is saying
can give me
something.
some time. I'm discussing math now on WhatsApp.
No.
Do you see any results? Do you see any positivity there?
You
see?
don't know where they came
There's
from.
nothing now.
At the end of the day, that's how we have been learning. That when COVID hit, that's how people were learning all subjects.
We just
But do you
learned
think the
and they were
understanding
not
there, they
effective.
understand
They
physically?
were.
By the way,
They were.
I performed
And
very
still,
well while
when you're
learning
coming
online.
When you're coming from home, doesn't mean you won't get a chance to be at campus with the rest of the students.
Of course,
No,
you'll
the
be
issue-
there,
the
but
issue-
you have
the
lesser
issue was-
time than
So,
your
which time
friends.
are we talking about? You people discuss at midnight. What time are we talking
We
about?
No.
discuss up to any time we want because the freedom
Not
is upon
midnight.
us.
You see-
You
Not midnight,
can, 'cause
but
there,
still,
there are some
even-
students who revise at night and they understand more.
No,
can still
Shafiq,
revise
you
at
see-
night at
Understand
home.
in the morning.
Shafiq,
Or you'll be there on
You
a
see, when
chill,
you're
watching
hustling
it
to go
alone.
back home, by the time you are getting out
As
maybe of
you're
the university
moving,
gate,
for us, we are discussing.
some of us are far. By the time we reach home,
Okay,
You're already
okay.
there.
Point
But
for
people
us.
Okay,
are very
so-
unrealistic. They're very
Okay.
unrealistic
No,
in that
it's
a lot of people come from hostel, but these hostels are not spot on near campus.
By the way,
They are
it's
very,
like
they are
the
a
same distance
distance
from home, the
away
same distance from.
from what?
Talking of distance,
from
in
home.
most cases, hostels will be nearer to the school than your home. And even
We are
if
now
they
on you
far
guys.
from
We
the
are now
school,
on you guys.
the university.
I
might
think
have a
let's first
catering-
hear from Angel.
Yeah, and even if they are far, the school will have some transport caterings for you people. Like you see, Bakere has a bus for some students who stay far. Yes.
Do
I'm
they
not
pay
a
for it
student
or
here.
it's for free?
Of course, you pay for it like
A lot
from
of
the-
expenditure.
No, a lot of expenditure. You pay for it as you're paying for hostel fee. It's on that, and they always have routes. That's the first route, the second route, and all that. But in most cases, they are not just like here at Lim and children at your hostels near the school.
Okay,
Suppose-
okay. So that,
okay.
that is very nice. The hostel, the distance, and everything. So I really want to talk about the side hustles. I hear people at hostel they have high chances of shooting part times, and their chances are higher than those of people that come from home. So what do you guys think about it?
But I will tell you a statistic
Yeah.
of 90% of students don't work at hostel. They are always lousing, visiting each other's, visiting boyfriends.
That's what you think because you're not
going
in
out.
hostel.
I am in hostel
You
actually.
see someone looking weird, you're
Actually,
like,
I talk
the
from
boyfriend
experience.
financed her.
I talk
no,
from
we are
experience,
working, we
guys.
have jobs. That's why I'll come late for the lecture because I had to go to my job early in the morning.
Hey,
You can still have a job when you're coming from
there's-
home.
come on, baby.
there's a while like
You
Joshua
can
is
still
talking.
come from home and have a side hustle.
By the way,
That's why I like the way you're
But
speaking.
then you have to go
'Cause-
through different stuff. Please,
Like
mommy,
what?
now
Okay.
this. But
Yes,
at
those
hostel,
things
Okay.
are very important. Let me tell you that please mommy that you're throwing out of the window is helping girls east, west, and center, is helping guys east, west, and center. That sense of being grounded, you don't know how much it has kept people very disciplined and
Excuse me,
very
Swalha.
responsible.
Excuse me, Swalha. I thought, okay, I have this feeling that psychologically, if someone is staying at home, they won't even think about side hustles. They will know. And if I'm a girl,
And
I know I'm
Right.
daddy's
a
best
person
friend.
who was
And
not going to think of side hustle at home is that very person who is not going to think of side hustle at home.
at campus.
no, but at hostel,
To some
at
extent.
hostel, let me tell you, your dad will send you 50,000 for what? To take you through the week. You
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
Your friend will come and hype you. There is a kapata at Missouri. You get it. You spend like a 50,000, it gets
No.
done. So the week starts and you're starving, right? I thought that would actually push you to be like, let me go.
Besides
As daddy
that-
sbe the 50,000, I'll what? I'll be
Besides
also
that-
working for like a 50,000 elsewhere.
that,
Don't you
not
think?
that.
Her point,
that.
when you join campus, you're in hostel, what you meet people from different cultures. They do different stuff, so you get to know about different things. You're here, your parents send you money. At
Definitely.
first, you spend
From
It's at too much
kindergarten, I don't
expenditure.
think there is a school that is a school for Batoro only, unless you're telling me you're going to tell me about
No,
it right
at
now.
that time
Or
you were
there is
just
a high
putting
school
them in
for
school.
Basoga only, for Baganda
Of
only.
course.
We are still meeting different cultures right
Yeah,
from the word
and
go.
now here
Even
you have
when
the
you're
freedom.
being born in the hospital, different cultures.
But
The
then at
doctor
that
is
time
a
you can't
different culture.
conceptualize the
The,
cultures.
the midwife, everyone is
Even
different.
the
Yeah, but then at
So,
that time
back
you
on the
can't
hustle.
conceptualize the
back
cultures.
still
Back
on
on
the,
the
Back on
still
the
on the
hustle now.
different cultures, the lecturer is going to be of different culture. When you're in
Yeah.
lecture inside class, when you're at the cafeteria having having your food, having your lunch talks, is still different cultures. You still have an opportunity to meet
Let me
different
take
people.
All right,
my
guys,
point
I want to
home.
hear hustles.
Yeah, the hustles. It's what
The
I was talking
There's a way,
about.
there's a
Yes,
way.
please,
About the
Angel.
part-time jobbing thing.
Okay.
Yeah, your parents send you excess money. You realize you're overspending because you're used to that mommy, daddy life. But then you have friends who are working. They have their own businesses, like they're self-employed. So due to that pressure,
For example, travel
from
fresh
your
squeeze,
friends, your
Yeah.
friends will inspire you to save from that money that you've been extraordinary, sluggishly spending. And then you have to also start up something. You're self-employing yourself.
And a lot of people who
but
come
you,
from home end up working their parents'
her
businesses.
parents thing now
Parents.
when you work in the parents, you have to work for other
the
people,
first
so you
step.
learn
That is the
how to
first
share
step. Let me tell you,
ideas.
the way you people are throwing out parents out of the picture right after hitting university is
But
so wrong.
No,
Swallow.
Because at the end of the day, you still need these people
Now
in your
you'll
life
be
on
there.
a daily basis.
Like
Still,
you'll be there in your family
being in
business.
hostel,
You're going to have uncle time to be on your own and to be your own person. You're going to have that time.
We are
trust
when
me.
is that time
talking
coming?
about
The time
work.
starts
going to
now.
come.
It
Fine,
starts
I'll be
now.
at
It's
work.
going to come.
Yeah, it
It's
starts now.
fine.
But look, the way now Swaha is saying, like now, people saying hostel, you don't have time for our parents. We do. But even
You don't have
And
time for
being
your
sincere,
parents.
I personally, I love hostel because I'm a hosteler. And what I've got there, the hustle I've passed throughout.
You've learned how
I've
to
learned
kupota,
many
eh?
things, not kupota. Just the responsibility I've got is just enough for me to say that.
You were dead now.
No, I'm not yet done.
Check the way he's looking.
I just check the way I'm looking now. That is
Path of
hostel, that's
nation.
responsibility.
Just
I now take care of myself. If I am
So
in
when
need of
you're at
go to
something,
the salon.
if
but
I'm in need
at
of
home,
something, maybe
you'll
I
be
need
there.
some data, I need some shoe. I won't be like, Mom, send me some money to buy this cashew. I'll be like, let me go and I have my 50K. Let me go and hustle out.
Where did you
Yeah.
get
Okay.
that 50K?
Of course,
Okay.
my
From your
parents
parents.
sent me because it's their responsibility. Besides, now for the case of social things,
So it's
you
funny
learn
how you
to
people are saying,
prepare
I don't need
different
parents.
dishes.
Let
No,
parents
it's
leave
not
us.
like that.
Let
It's
parents
not
let
that.
us go and stay at
It's
hostels.
a
By the way,
responsibility.
parents, and for that, you love our parents because living that hostel thing.
No one
To
has
the
said
fact that
people
they
who,
pay
who
for us
live in
tuition.
hostel don't love their parents.
No,
They
ah.
do love
In
their
fact,
parents.
for the distance
You might
that is
even
there,
find
you
that-
learn to miss them, you learn to value them.
Yeah.
But for your parents, is there.
You'll be like,
She's grounding. You're gamba, this children.
Every time I see her,
What?
I
But
see
there,
that
you're like,
every time.
Walter, come and say
Walter knows
something.
the truth because he knows. Isn't
he's
it?
a hostel.
You know.
No, I'm not a hosteler, by the way. I come from home.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but
and the business right now I'm owning,
Yes.
I did it from home.
because your parents financed you, it wasn't out of your own knowledge. Perhaps
And
if they never told you,
you
you'd be
might
still
find-
eating.
You might find the man's just
But
forced.
that is not true. His
Were
parents
you
did not
there?
tell him. For you, were you there?
Yeah, it was there because I'm his sibling.
No,
God.
you might
All
find
right.
what is just
All right,
forced in
guys,
the
eh?
business.
Yeah.
All right, this is really so interesting. I guess that for viewing there, I really enjoying it. But guys, please keep your comments coming in. We want to know, what do you think, hostel or home? We really want to know. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lim TV. And yes, keep it tagged. So guys, I want us to talk about exposure.
Exposure.
Yeah, let's talk about
exactly.
exposure.
I'll start with that. At home, you said you come from different cultures. And at your home, no Mutoro will visit you if whatever. You said different cultures. But then at school, like in hostels, you meet different people. You learn how to prepare different dishes. Now, like, so far for the time I've been in hostel, I've learned different staple foods.
Oh.
Like which ones?
Actually, I've even learned malewa for the gishes. I never knew that. It's weird. The first time I thought it was
Banana fibers, I know.
But then they told me why it's baboon.
Yeah, bamboo stalks, eh?
Yeah. You learn to prepare different dishes.
And-
you find things of good quality. Like you be there in your village, you have some rice. But then you come and you see different stuff. You're like, wow. So at least when you're going back home, you know that I'll take my mom for this. I'll take this for my mom. It's of good quality, and she will love it. Like
Some part hostel also think about their parents.
Yeah, we do. And adding,
Even people that come from home. When I come from home, it does not mean now when I come to campus, I'm going to be at campus only. I can still go and visit my Gisu friend. If at all she's into Malewa, she will tell me about it. I can still go and visit my Muganda friend. If at all she has her Luombo there, I can still learn and do this thing. Coming from home.
another thing on exposure.
And I will still be exposed, I will still socialize with people, because from the way home to campus, you meet way more new people than a person who is coming from home.
Maybe in taxis,
Just
but
high
the border ride, when
Definitely.
they're
Those
giving
are
one.
just high things, but these are people you stay with. You don't cook malewa.
Another thing
Like
is,
you can't learn how to prepare something once. For you, whatever staple food that is yours, did you learn it in one day, in 1 year? You're staying with these people in the hostel. In fact, sometimes they'll be like, "You're the one preparing this today. We have taught you enough," and you
So
have
don't you
that
see
You
you
are-
people,
you are in hostel,
don't
how
you
will you
see
learn to
people
prepare that food? But for me,
are
who was
going
at home, I
away
learned.
from school.
you will learn your
You're at
staple
hostel
food.
busy
When
teaching
I'm
each
home.
other how to
We are talking about exposure, right? We are talking about
Yeah.
exposure.
Exposure. For you learn from you're saying YouTube. Even me, I can go and make my YouTube and I show you actually. I won't use the bamboo and I use even banana fibers and it will come out.
something
But then you're
to
getting it from someone who has been told.
So,
Walter,
who
let's talk
learns-
exposure.
Hey,
Walter,
I
tell us
really-
something about exposure.
what isn't exposed? There's nothing is going to tell you.
No,
Don't say
no.
like
Are you
that.
exposed even as you come from home?
You're
He can
I
tell
am.
us.
Walter.
I am
No,
exposed to many people.
guys. He
let's-
can
You know
still
that-
tell us. Please tell us.
If I come from home, I'm exposed to many things. People are exposed to many things as I'm walking.
But
There are some people who say, "Man, how do you make it?"
Don't you think those are by the ways?
those are high,
But you
people.
can
No,
still you
no,
can
no,
still
no.
pick, you can still choose your exposure. You can
You are-
still
Okay.
choose the level of exposure you want. Whether
Yeah.
you're coming from home, there are a lot of people that come from hostel but are very, very antisocial people.
Bakodo.
And from
But
hostel,
still they have
from
improved
hostel
compared
to
to how
home.
they came.
No,
They have
I promise you there are people that are antisocial and they will remain like that. It's still a decision. You can come from home and be much more popular at
This thing
at
for
campus
exposure.
than someone who
This
is
thing for
coming from
exposure is
Charity
just
begins from home. That means even in your home, you people are antisocial, you're
Yes.
greedy whatsoever.
But how is that even connected
No,
to
it's
greed?
you
No.
who are
It's
greedy.
not connected to greed.
You mentioned
Recently.
it that day.
You can-
Greedy bakodo. Your
Yeah,
person said
bakodo.
He's not my person actually.
Yeah, I said it. I can defend it.
It's on
Your
you.
teammate.
I can defend it, by the way.
We're not
Before you
teammates on
defend
this
it.
panel. Everyone
Okay.
is an individual
Let me-
talking about
Exactly.
what they believe.
Let me add-
Exactly.
Let me add
Yes,
something
please, Henry. Yes,
on,
please,
on
Henry.
exposure. Let me add something. You know, these friends of ours and sisters from home, those who like to be home, they
Yeah.
sit at their parents. You know, they have their exposure, I think their exposure phones, and they think being on social media is exposure. Let me tell you,
You
friends.
can still be
No.
in your hostel and
No,
be
it's
on
like-
phone all
Give
day.
me
Henry is
my-
driving
give-
a point home,
give my
guys.
time. Give my time. You know, social media. Social media,
You
those
can
people
still
they
be on
are just
social
ghost
media
people.
when you're
No,
when you're at
listen,
hostel.
Soha, give me time. Those are ghost people, not physical people. Because you even find somebody you don't know, it's just something ghost. Being on social media doesn't mean that you're a person. It's just, it is a scam. No,
Perhaps we fantasize about different things. I can
Yeah.
be here imagining a life, then I'll be like, okay, if I can't live this life, let me inspire someone out there to live their life. So I go on social media, I tell you for you there,
Since
But
you have got
experience
parents
is the
there, you have
best
no one to
teacher.
talk to.
So allow yourself
Who
to
has talked about
experience
social
something.
media exposure?
Actually, most of you people there,
It
you're busy.
is why
Your dad is
You
busy, your
still
mom is
come
busy,
from
your
home
siblings
and
are
be
busy.
exposed.
You're alone at home. So you go
Okay,
on social media
whatsoever the
to
case,
post yourself alone.
exposure
You're going to be scammed by
for
it.
you who comes from home is less. Fine, we are all exposed, but there are variations, more and less.
But
So
I think I
your
will.
Okay.
exposure is less,
I will
and our
conclude my
exposure is
point.
more.
My point with this one very one, which is coming from home is safer. A lot of people that come from hostel have opportunities to go astray. Not that people that come from home do not have the same opportunities, but their opportunities remain grounded.
All right, thank you very
9
much.
over 10.
Yeah, so I want each one of us to give their last point in just 5 seconds because
Yes.
I have seen people have that
fire won't
uncounted.
stop.
I know 5 seconds. Then you talk as you're counting for yourself,
Give
right?
Henry
Yes, so
Even
please, yes,
see.
please, Walter. Your 1 second is done too.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah,
done.
your
Okay.
seconds are running.
It's
One,
done.
if I commute from home,
Yes.
there will be little expense than
maybe.
that someone who lives in hostels.
Okay, Henry, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
So for people who are in hostels, the services are near to them, like the school services, the library, the classroom, like the lecture rooms, the canteen, the meals, because that's all organized for people who will be accessing the hostels.
All right, Henry.
so I don't want to take this chance.
So people who are coming from home, let me tell you, it's not that now the services are not extended to you. They are,
That's the
because
last point.
when you come from home, when you're coming from home, you still have the same opportunities as these people coming from hostels. You can still access services the same because you're going to be there during day, and universities function during day. So you have the same opportunities at the end of the day.
Okay,
So what's
Henry
your
gave
point?
his
Yeah.
opportunity
They
to
can
swallow
still
her.
have the same
You people.
opportunities.
So let me say something now as I'm concluding. Being realistic, parents should only, if at all you are failed to take care of your child at home, if you are failed to take care of your child at home and maybe you can afford hostel, that's when you should take your child to hostel.
Okay,
That's
all
it.
right. And I thank you very much. Thank you for giving me company on this show. You have really been interesting, and I've loved your company.
But
I've loved the arguments. I've loved the
next-
points. I've
next
loved
time,
your views.
Next time, you should give us some ample time.
Oh my God! You feel like you still have
Yeah.
the thirst. All right, beautiful viewers of Lim TV, it has been Campus Vibes for you. It has been Campus Vibes for you, and please, we want to know what you think about today's topic. Travel's first quiz was the sponsor of the show. They distributed us with this very tasty juice. I wish you guys tasted on it. This mighty show was sponsored by Paralja Ministries International, and the very ministry invites you for a conference that is entitled Winning Souls, that is due to take place on 15th December this very year 2022 at Kanyogoga Camp Playgrounds. This conference has been sponsored by Namataba Pastors Fellowship and Namataba Youth Fellowship, and it has been spearheaded by Colonel Sevunya Jeremiah. Please be there. Thank you very much for watching Lim TV. A good evening. And please let's meet next time. Keep it tagged on Lim TV. Other more great shows are coming for you. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button. Thank you very much. Have a good time.